Do you remember the days of Lord of the Rings Conquest, Cam?
I do. I remember we used to play it a lot together.
We used to play it so much. It was on Xbox 360, right?
It was, yeah.
What a classic game. I mean, do you think it was... It wasn't like the best Lord of the Rings game ever, right? But it was fun.
It was one of the only Lord of the Rings games we had access to, I think, at the time.
Yeah, and because we'd played so much Star Wars Battlefront 2, it was kind of a perfect fit, really. Because it was like, this was the same, right? But with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, what's not to love?
There's been a lot that's been going on in the Lord of the Rings, I guess, sphere? Is that what it's called? Community?
Yeah.
Like it's like the LGBT LOTR? Is that
the new acronym?
I think that's a new acronym. So the Lord of the Rings community, now it's been growing because of the new TV show. We've had some mad remasters. I think I actually showed you Battle for Middle-earth Reforged ages ago.
Ages ago, yeah, you did.
That was probably like last week.
At least, or like 20 minutes ago.
But Lord of the Rings Conquest, because it was such a success, they're actually making a remaster of it. Once again, it's a fan remaster. Though.
Oh, not an official one?
Yes. Does that terrify you?
I mean, again, it's the same thing we faced with the other one of it's probably going to get cancelled before we ever get to play it.
Yeah, much like Kevin Spacey, Lord of the Rings Conquest is about to get cancelled. But
Wait,
Lord of the Rings
Lord of
the Rings Conquest probably won't have touched underage boys, though. Unless the developers want to come out and say anything about that. So this was the first teaser we got, okay?
Ooh.
This is Unreal Engine 4, which is the one before 3 and the one, no, but before 5. So it didn't really show off that much. It was, as I said, a teaser.
Yeah.
But telling us that there was a game coming that was supposedly going to be a remaster. But I think a lot of people were quite skeptical because a fan remaster of Lord of the Rings Conquest, is it going to be all that good?
I mean, from what we've seen in terms of this, but again, this is just all pre-rendered, isn't it?
Yes, and I just realized that I'm going to have to mute all the audio that we're currently listening to right now because it's the Lord of the Rings music.
Oh, very much. It sounds great, though.
It does sound good. More recently, we got this trailer, and this is the one that I really want to show you. So this music is now custom made for the game. It's not just a remaster, but there's going to be a complete transformation of all the mechanics as well.
Oh,
there's going to be new maps. There's going to be new troops and units as well.
So it's not even just a remake. They're now adding extra features as well.
It's technically, I think, an entirely new game, but they've just called it a remaster because obviously it will bring people back in and it uses the base mechanics of like the command posts and conquest and the troops and stuff.
It's got that Battlefront vibe still.
How cool does that look?
That looks amazing.
Helm's Deep was one of the best maps, I think, in the original Lord of the Rings Conquest.
Where you're just kicking people down ladders repeatedly.
Yes, and I hope the archers also have that ultimate kick.
I mean, if they remove that, I don't know how I'm going to play the game anymore.
Yeah, so if the developers are watching this, please keep that kick in because that is necessary to the enjoyment of said game.
Oh, this looks amazing.
Are you big fan, little fan, small fan, wide fan?
I mean, well, me physically, or just...
What games have you played in the Lord of the Rings sphere, LGBT, LOTR?
Well, I've played Battle for Middle-earth.
Yeah.
I've played this one.
Yeah.
I played the Something in the North one that they released, which is a bit of a
Ring
weird
in
one.
the North? Lord of the... King in the North?
No, yeah, King in the North, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, okay.
You know, the Starks and stuff.
Yes,
So I'd say I'm a
yes.
pretty big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, because they got those dragons things, dragging the balls. So we've seen some trailers, we've seen some teasers, but then we get our first look at the actual game and the development of the game itself and what it's going to include. Now, in terms of like raw gameplay, there hasn't really been all that much, but we have seen some bits of the models, the animations, and exactly what you can expect to play with.
Those are some beautiful models.
So I'll talk you quickly over what the game is actually going to add and include. So it's going to have a new combat system. I think it's going to be inspired by the original because, you know, when you press X to do like a light attack, Y to do a medium, and then B
Yeah, you
to
have your different abilities, don't you?
Yeah, and then you can like press the RB and LB bumper buttons like as an arch to do like poison arrows and shit. That was pretty cool.
That was good.
And I think that's going to be expanding more, but it's going to be like less lock-on combat and it's going to be more like smoother because that was like... We played Star Wars Battlefront 2 the other day, and it's quite an old style of combat, that.
Yeah, the lock-on was a real pain.
Hello there, Middle-earth fans. Today...
God, this voice is really annoying.
Sorry, what channel is this? This is on the official Lord of the Rings Conquest Reimagined channel.
Oh, God. Why did they pick this guy to do it?
I don't know. He's not very good
He's
at
got like
doing
a really
voice.
like kind of shrill, like awful voice, really.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit embarrassing, that, isn't it?
It's a little bit embarrassing.
It's a bit
yeah.
awkward.
Did you,
The problem is, now I really can't make many videos on this game because it looks like that I'm getting paid to do it or I'm in the development of it.
So did you do this for free? Did they just come
I
up to you
did
and
it.
say...
No, they didn't come up to me. I actually offered.
Oh, so you have been following this for quite a while then.
Because I knew that they wanted to make devlogs and they didn't have any microphones and stuff like that because they're just nerdy devs. So I was like, do you want me to do the voiceovers? And they're like, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I hate nerdy devs, you know.
What do you think of the Elven Sword?
No, I do. If these models look like this in the game, it's going to look phenomenal.
Yes, but unfortunately we don't actually have any proper gameplay yet, which worries me a tiny bit.
It's always the problem with these fan-made projects. You often see them get to a certain point and then hear nothing more. Often because they get cancelled, but yeah, this is a primary problem with it. But again, if it eventually gets released, I'd be extremely happy to play this.
One thing that I think that they should improve from the original is things like the mage class, because that's very OP in the original, and I think they are adding more classes and balancing it out a little bit, and I think in this video we'll actually get to see some of the reworks of the classes already. So yeah, this is the dagger and this is the new stealth class. Do you remember the stealth guy who goes invisible?
Was he the scout or something?
Yes, the scout, yes. You can climb up on the back of the trolls and you can stab them.
Oh, that was amazing.
And do you know what was great about the scout class? Is because they were so OP when you were fighting against other heroes, because it was no matter what, if you snuck up behind someone a one hit.
Kill. I think that was a bit overpowered.
Yes. Yeah, because you can instantly kill, like, the Witch King.
Which was just... Especially, imagine if you were playing PvP and you get the Witch King and a little scout comes up behind you.
And they're invisible, so there's not really anything you can do.
No.
But it was fun, if you were the scout themselves.
Oh, yeah, it was great. But I feel like if they're at it... Have they confirmed multiplayer for this, or do we not know at the moment?
I mean, as far as I know, it's going to be multiplayer. It'd be a bit stupid if it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the main point of Lord of the Rings Conquest, because it's instant action on multiplayer. I guess there was the One Ring, and actually that's another thing. The War of the Ring and the campaigns are coming back as well, so I think they're fully redoing the campaigns.
We had a lot of fun playing through those campaigns.
The campaigns were fantastic in this game.
Being a Balrog and destroying a halfling village was just amazing.
Yes, or playing as Frodo and Sam at Osgiliath.
And then getting picked up by an Nazgul and instantly dying.
The parts of Lord of the Rings Conquest that you want to improve of the original, I mean, it's fun, but it wasn't a perfect game.
No.
What would you like to see in a remaster?
I think balanced classes, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
Making the heroes a little bit nicer to play rather than just expansions on classes, because they often just were based on a class and then...
That's very true. Because I feel like it was a bit more rushed than like a Star Wars Battlefront, because I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out in 2005, and then Pandemic were told, look, here's the Lord of the Rings license by EA. Can you make something? This came out like 3 or so years later. So I think it was probably rushed a little bit, and it meant that there were things like the hero classes were just extensions. So like Aragorn was just a footman, right?
They
and
weren't
Legolas
far
was just
off.
an archer.
Yeah, they weren't far off just reskinned versions, were they?
Yeah, and I also think that's a good point. Like, you could play as a scout, which was just a normal troop that you could pick on the battlefield, and you could kill any of the heroes in one hit. Where in Star Wars Battlefront, the heroes were deadly.
Oh, I mean, as soon as you see a hero in Star Wars Battlefront come out, you know you're going to lose at least...
There's no clone that can kill Mace Windu in one hit, right? No matter what class clone you're picking. So I think they maybe need to balance that out a bit better.
And from the sounds of it, they seem to be doing a lot of new stuff with it, so...
Would you play it out of 10? Your final thoughts on Lord of the Rings Conquest Reimagined?
Oh, I mean, I'd give it a 9 out of 10, to be honest. I'd love to play it, especially with it looking like this. But again, it's one of those things where, will we ever actually see it?
Will we see it? It might get cancelled. And also, we'd like to see some gameplay very soon.
Yeah.